Many of you here tonight are good people. You love giving to great causes, especially in a place like Africa, where good people like you and aid has caused the biggest amount of societal damage and brain drain that I'm determined to reverse by turning orphanage homes into creative hubs in order to change the narrative about Africa. I moved to Seattle in June 2010, and I've done all sorts of jobs that an immigrant is expected to do. On May 17th, 2019, I resigned from my day job and decided to focus on being a full-time dad. And to 3 beautiful girls, my wife is over there, thank you for coming. And I also decided to focus on running One Vibe Africa, which is an organization that I founded. And this is an organization that was started in Manyata, which is the 3rd largest slum in Kisumu, Kenya, which is the 3rd largest city in Kenya. And so, growing up in Manyata in an orphanage home that was started by my mother, the orphanage home was called Young Generation Center. We were a community of people that were totally dependent on aid. We would wait for people to bring us food. We would wait for people to provide education for us. And we became so dependent on aid that it was difficult to break off of that chain. And so, imagine Young Generation Center, an institution that from 1997 when it was started to 2013 when we turned it into a creative hub, it served hundreds of kids until 2013. But between 2013 and 2019, it has served over 2,000 youths because we are now a place of solace, not a place of sorrow. A place where music and creativity and filmmaking is the order of the day. So, we've reached over 12 million people digitally through the content and the events that we are creating. We've, created over 20 jobs in Kenya. We've worked with over, 300 volunteers here in Seattle. And this is just, a tip of the iceberg. And it just shows you what a group of determined people can do over the last 13 years. And so, how did we get here? Why do Africans need genuine people to collaborate and work together with? Well, Africa's resources have been siphoned out of the continent for over 500 years. In 1973, Walter Rodney said that, Africa helps develop the West with the same proportion that the West underdevelops Africa. Recent studies show that about $133 billion is sent to Africa in form of aid. And about $218 billion is siphoned out of Africa in form of illegal mining, poaching, brain drain. And so Africa has a net deficit, a loss of about $85 billion every year. And so this suggests that Africa actually aids the West. So this brings us to a situation where we have to figure out how do we move on from here. And so for me, my determination is to collaborate with people that also understand that Africa actually gives to the world. The Congo alone ensures that all of us have cell phones here. There's a product called cobalt that is the primary ingredient in all the cell phones. So without the Congo, we would have no cell phones. So with that, I just want to say that our work has been made possible by people that understand that, the same passion that we are putting into climate change should be put into, reversing the effects of aid. And so with that, I just want to say thank you.